is equally demonstrable. Today, 90.2% of households have access to electricity, up from 76.7% in 2002. 87.7% have access to piped water, and 83.1% now enjoy improved sanitation, compared to barely 61% 2 decades ago. These numbers reflect a profound transformation in the material conditions of millions of people and reaffirm that the ANC-led state remains the primary engine of human upliftment. Even in the face of global shocks that have driven increases in food insecurity worldwide, South Africa continues to deepen interventions to protect vulnerable households, strengthen nutrition programs, and expand social protection. Again, showing that we are grounded in empirical understanding and responsive policymaking. Economically, the report shows a society undergoing structural transformation, backed by measurable outcomes. Since democracy, formal employment has more than doubled from 8 million to 16.8 million people, demonstrating broad labor absorption despite global recessionary trends. The growth of the black middle strata, now accounting for roughly half of the country's middle-income population, is another scientific indicator of transformation. This expansion did not happen by accident. It is the direct result of empowerment policies, skills development, preferential procurement, and inclusive growth strategies implemented over 3 decades. The NSDF 2050 further provides an evidence-based spatial plan to modernize cities, strengthen rural regions, and position the entire national territory as an integrated, competitive economic system. It also demonstrates that when we were confronted with a strategic electoral setback, the ANC responded not with emotion, but with scientific political calculation and responsible statecraft. The decision to champion a government of national unity was a rational, evidence-based intervention designed to stabilize the country, protect transformation gains, ensure policy continuity, and prevent reactionary forces from reversing democratic progress. This is the ANC acting as a mature liberation movement guided by data, history, and the national interest. What emerges unmistakably from the midterm report is a movement that is renewing with purpose, rebuilding with discipline, and driving human development with measurable results. The ANC is sharpening its ideological tools, strengthening its institutions, investing in cadreship, and reconnecting with the motive forces of change. It is demonstrating through evidence, not slogans, that South Africa is moving forward. People live longer, more children and youth are in education, more households have services, more Black South Africans occupy professional and entrepreneurial spaces, and the foundations of an integrated future-oriented economy are being constructed with scientific precision. The message to the nation is clear and emphatic. The ANC is rising, the ANC is renewing, and the ANC is leading South Africa into a new era of measurable progress. scientific advancement, and inclusive development. The future is not only imagined, it is being built in data, in policy, and in the lived experiences of millions through the renewal project now firmly underway. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade SG. At this point, it's my chance to turn to you, colleagues. I am looking for hands. I'm going to start on my left, and then I'll come to the right. Colleague over there, please make sure to introduce yourself.
Thank you. Karine du Plessis from the Africa Report. Okay, thanks. I just have a question. We're about halfway through the NGC now, so I would like to ask the SG if he feels that there has been progress in terms of addressing the questions that were that the President mentioned on the first day, issues about electoral support for the ANC that's been waning, issues about what do you call it, cleaning up the ANC, getting cadres to be, making sure that people aren't corrupt. Is the progress, maybe just sort of give me a progress report, say, how's it been going? Thank you.
Thank you, Corinne. Do we have anybody this side? Otherwise, I'm happy to move to the right, and I'll start with my sister over here. And then I will go to the next row and go to the next row as well. I will note it. Please proceed and identify yourselves.
Thank you so much. It's Bukanya Malizi, NGN TV. I have two questions. SG, to what extent did the delegate discuss the coalition government given the current political climate? And the second question, it's in connection with the state-owned entity that is still under pressure. What updates and turnaround plans were approved during the commission? Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you could pass on the mic. Yes, go ahead.
Ahmed Waja from Radio Islam International. My question is, what proposals and what policies has the NGC adopted as far as vote buying is concerned? And what about the rumors that our SG might be vying for the post of Deputy President?
Thank you very much. Before we come back, I'm just going to use this row and go over there to Lizella.
Good afternoon, SG. My name is Lizella Tandwa. I'm from the Sunday Times. I've got a couple of questions. My name is Lizella Tandwa. I'm from the Sunday Times. I've got a couple of questions for you. Perhaps I can ask some of them in the second round. Mbalula, in terms of the GNU, I wonder if you had extensive discussions around the composition of GNU and what was the signal from the delegates in terms of what you have right now, and whether the discussions around extending the GNU as you resolved in the ANC did come up, and what is the holdup? You talk about this renewal, which is you are renewing with purpose, excuse me, rebuilding with discipline and driving human development with measurable results. In the 55th conference, you resolved that, the delegates, the ANC, gave you an instruction and a mandate as the NEC to come up with a renewal plan. We yet to see that renewal plan, Mbalula. Yes, you have a renewal committee, and we've been, there's been reports about this renewal committee hardly ever meeting. Is there an actual plan, given that you are now in a midterm review, and how did you review that plan? My third question, Mbalula, is around the balance of forces, and whether, in the context of your discussions around balance of forces, where does the UMS fit in that discussion? Thank you.
Thank you, Lizeda. I then proceed to the same row. Is there anybody here? No one. Then we go to the third row, starting from the beginning to, I think it's SABC.
Good afternoon, Musi from the SABC, Musi Bopela. My first question is, you talk about the expansion of the black middle class strata, but you also talk about the fact that the middle class no longer resonates with the ANC. So you seem to have a problem. What are you doing and saying in terms of discussing how to actually deal with that particular problem about the black middle strata not resonating with you, even though it has expanded? And then my second question has to do with land redistribution and how much, in terms of discussions, that is getting. I read something quite interesting in the base document where you were talking about the fact that the rural provinces continue to vote for the ANC. Is that why land redistribution is not getting the sort of attention it should be getting from the ANC in terms of policy and legislation?
Thank you very much, SABC.
Thank you, Sis.
Yeah,
sorry.
we still have another SABC.
Yes, SABC.
Please proceed.
Thanks, Sis. Mr. Mbalula, it's Natasha Kiri here. I just wanted to ask, in terms of the SACP's decision to go to alone at the polls, was there pushback from delegates to say, let's just cut ties with the SACP once and for all, let them contest the elections and let the ANC contest the elections? And in terms of also assessing the conditions of the alliance in the current did delegates raise the issue of the relevance of the alliance? And then just on the last issue, the monitoring of the local government. In September, when you announced the roll call, you had said that the ANC was introducing a local government barometer that would monitor the performance of local government in the short, medium, and long term. It's been, I think, 3 months. What has your assessment shown on the current state of municipality ANC governance? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I still have a number of hands, but I want to turn to the SG to check if we can't handle these ones for now. Okay.
Thank you for the questions. First, we're giving an update to you about the midterm report as presented by the Secretary General. You are going to get detailed media briefings on all the issues, specific issues that you have asked. The commissions at the present moment, well attended, robust debates, are discussing a midterm review and at the same time reprioritize for the ANC in terms of the National Conference, 55th National Conference resolutions. We are not reviewing policy in this General Council. We are doing what is called midterm review of the implementation of the National Conference resolutions. The midterm report delivered by the Secretary General was giving a full account to the membership of the ANC and to the country about that. And it was open to the media. We didn't review ourselves in secrecy. We gave you the report. And at the same time, we delivered it in the open session. So it's a full account about our work. And I've given you a synopsis that if anyone dispute that account in terms of human development investment that we have given in the report, they are free to do so. It's an honest account. If anyone disputes that the black administrator in terms of transformation have doubled up, they are free to do so. You can see even in the roads, number of cars that we own, that we buy from China, have doubled up. There's traffic congestion everywhere in South Africa. And that gives an account in a simplistic way of this development and the increase of the black metal strata. Current Duplessis progress report about the NGC. I'm sure you are shocked that you are in the ANC NGC. You are not used to such a quiet NGC, well organized, even if we have to say it ourselves, with such high level of discipline among delegates and focus. We started well, and we're going to end on a high note. And these are the green shoots of the renewal project. Our organization is run. It's not all perfect, but we can give you an account of a massive liberation movement that is on a path of renewal. We are not yet where we want to be, but these are the offshoots of this important development. So commissions will finish now at 3 o'clock, and then we'll have a report back session. And I think Mahlengi and them will coordinate with you. As the commissions finish to report, the rapporteurs and chairs will come to you, and they will give specific outcomes in detail about what is being discussed and what is being resolved by the National General Council. MDN coalition government, of course, it is a big topic. We gave a full account in the midterm report from a point of view of strategy. And we give you an account that, to us, we did what we did in the best interest of the country. We are a ruling party, not even a ruling party, a governing party that registered massive loss in the elections. But we managed to resolve the model of government within 14 days in the best interest of our people, to stabilize our country and put it on the right trajectory moving forward. While others were toying and wanting to go to court, the ANC accepted the results and they put a model to the country, invited all political parties to participate in the government of national unity. Turnaround plan on state entities, you'll get that report when they come and report to you. SGs vying for deputy president, I don't know about that. Whoever told you, I don't know. Many things have been said that president will be taken out in this NGC. There's no such. Yeah. And I told you before that such a thing is a plot that is out there, but it will not see the light of day. Given the center we are driving in the organization, focusing the ANC, its membership, on the task at hand at the moment we are in. We don't have a luxury to gather in large numbers like in the NGC and only become a spectacle of infights and leadership. The issue of leadership will be discussed at the right time. It's not a topical issue in this General Council. Lizeka, the issue of the Government of National Unity, in terms of the report, it will find expression in the discussion about the NDR and the balance of forces, which a day before in all the commissions we're discussing that. And when Makura is done, he will take you through what the commissions and the General Council will have resolved. They will report now at 3 o'clock in plenary, maybe around 6, they will come and engage with you with regard to that. We gave a full and honest account to the membership about our stance on the government of national unity, a stance which we have shared with you over and over again, that GNU to us is a tactical intervention. It's not an end in itself. And that from time to time, in terms of how it operates and functions and all of that, is a subject of review. The NEC resolved on the question of reconfiguration, but were guided by the practical situation that GNU is stabilizing, is operating in full force. It's not a melting pot of political parties. Political parties did not disband their ideological stances when they joined the GNU. They still remain who they are. But in the best interest of this country, we are governing South Africa. And we are governing South Africa very well in the government of national unity. Of course, not without challenges. Renewal plan, you want a plan. Renewal is right in front of you. that is the plan that is in implementation. We have a commission chaired by the president that oversees this renewal implementation that has been agreed to. You will have seen organizationally how the ANC conducts its business in terms of renewal, but at the same time, also how it expresses itself in society on matters of integrity, how we handle those particular issues. We are next to nobody when it comes to that. The ANC have taken decisions that enhances integrity and ethical leadership. And we still say, even that, it is not enough. We have moved from things like innocent till proven guilty to step aside. And even the Constitutional Court has affirmed the correctness of that decision as it is expressed in the ANC Constitution. So that on its own is a renewal. We are in this General Council with some members of the NEC who have been put on step aside, and they are not here. Some years back, that was not there. You would have sat here with people who would have appeared in court and then, but not on step aside. You are in this General Council with about 3 members of the NEC who are on step aside and facing corruption charges in this country. And the ANC have taken those decisions in terms of its renewal plan. The balance of forces and the discussions in relation to the United States of America, our stance is very clear as the ANC. We are a disciplined force of the left. We are anti-imperialist, and we defend our sovereignty, and we advance multilateralism. We are against unilateralism. We are advancing for a rules-based system in the world, and we are for the reform of institutional mechanisms like the United Nations, that they must actually be reformed. So this notion that we're controlled by the United States of America as a world policeman, we are not for that. We are for multipolarism in the world. And that is what we're advancing. In as far as the aggression we are facing against by the United States of America, in particular the Trump administration, we will mobilize and fight and defend our sovereignty as a country. And that is what the ANC will pursue, including ensuring that its government pursue as we deal with these particular challenges. SABC, I've answered the black metal strata. The black metal strata is a force that is contested in the context of democratic politics of our country. We have never said that it is Jacob Zuma who said clever blacks. We have never said that. It's him and he left with it. So, of society. The black metal strata you are talking about, you will see it in this General Council. You will see it in the ANC, in society. So we're not talking about something that is happening outside the organization. We are a reflection of that development since 1994 that ANC have undertaken and implemented in our country. Land redistribution issues will also be reported when the commissions finish the discussion, particularly on the economy. The SACP, in the report, we have explained, the General Council can add, we explained that we don't agree with this standalone of the SACP. We say that we have failed, we reported, to persuade them otherwise. Fast in that decision. In the midterm report, what we are saying is that the National Executive Committee will process the practicalities of that decision. How we are going to handle a communist party that is contesting in the election, not in the fold of the alliance. Because it has got implications on the issue in particular of dual membership. Communist Party members now will have to choose between the ANC and the Communist Party. That will go even into the alliance. We have agreed that we need to convene an alliance summit, so that we all reflect on this particular matter. The Communist Party is invited here, and you heard their message of support. The first Deputy Secretary General Secretary of the Communist Party, had difficulties to explain that decision. In the plenary, you were watching him. He spoke very well, but when it came to why they must stand on their own, there was difficulty in terms of explaining that. So it is difficult even for ourselves from an ideological stance, theoretically, as to why the party at this moment can take such a decision. To us, that decision is erratic and very dangerous for the project called National Democratic Revolution, which is led by the African National Congress. The assessment of the barometer, after the General Council, time has overtaken us, but we hope to do that in Rustenburg at the January 8th to give a full feedback on the interventions made since the barometer. We thought we'll do it now, but we have been overtaken by time because it is General Council, it was the G20, all those big events have disturbed our commitment to report back. But in January, we give a full report on the matter of the barometer. The media for covering this event. They say I must not thank the fish for swimming. You are doing your job. But the ANC will speak for itself. We can tell you that we have enjoyed much of good result in terms of this general council. And from where we were before to where we are pleased with the development. You know, you came to ANC events, there was chaos. Registration for 2 days. People not sleeping and all of that, all such. The main issue we are going to deal with post this general council is our financial sustainability. It's a big challenge. We are battered in that regard. That's why you see people are not paid. I'm standing here, I'm like an unemployed person. So a party as big as the ANC cannot afford to have financial woes that are not ending. So the entirety of the organization will have to deal with that matter. And I can assure you, even that we are going to overcome so that we become a well-oiled machinery as an organization going forward. I know you've been looking for the TG. Some of you have been asking for the financial report and all of that. We're not going to give you something that we have not prepared ourselves to give to you. So we're not going to give you that report because it reports on the state of affairs, which does not look good, which must be addressed. And we're attending to that. So, yeah, financial sustainability is part of the reports that we're dealing with. As these commissions report back, and Mahlenge will be calling them, they will come to you and engage with you how the ANC is going to overcome financial sustainability as an organization. So we can't hide that difficulty to you. So it's a difficulty that we're going to overcome as an organization going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, SG. I am going to take the second round. I still see that there's a forest of hands. So I'm going to go to News 24. And I just want to check if there's. Yeah. Looks like an afterthought in the room. Are you sure? So you see, anybody else? Yeah. That would be a follow-up. I'll have to prioritize those that haven't. ENCA, in that order, and then to the left.
I might as well take it. Yeah, you are next to me.
It's supposed to be Siamtanda.
Oh, okay.
Afternoon, Mr. Mbalula. It's Yamtana Kapa from News 24. In terms of your midterm report, it went really in depth on the state of branches in provinces. I can recall that you mentioned that the Free State has only 2 branches in good standing. Other provinces as well, they're struggling in terms of your actual genuine existence in provinces. You've said that it's because when it comes to conferences, they come alive. Are you concerned, and is this gathering drilling deep into the reasons why, how to get out of it? And can you get, if there is a plan that's been formulated, can you just give us a glimpse of that? Thank you.
Thank you very much. SABC.
Okay. My name is Ndebo. I'm with the SABC. Secretary General, on the financial woes that the ANC is faced with, are you disappointed that there are members in the ANC who, by virtue of being ministers, premiers, and some of them even leading like your key institutions in the country, are very rich, and some of them millionaires have been billionaires, but the party that made them what they are, it's really struggling to make ends meet? Are you worried or disappointed about that? And secondly, maybe on the SACP, we know that this is a midterm report. But if you look at the the reconfiguration of the alliance. Would you want to be remembered as this NEC, together with these top officials, as people who've presided over the beginning of the end of the alliance?
Thank you. We move on to UNCA.
Thank you. Moluku Mlota from ENCA. You did point out, Mr. Mbalula, that by, I think, the end of October, your membership stood at just over 500,000. At some point, I remember the ANC had about 1 million members. Correct me if I've got the number wrong. In your view, which provinces contributed mainly to the decline in terms of your membership ever since? And secondly, on the issue of renewal, this quest, at what point would you believe that you have ticked all the boxes, you are happy with the pursuit of this renewal program? On your state of finance, I've interviewed a businesswoman, Gloria Silva, and she pointed out that perhaps it's about time as the ANC that you consider cutting the headcounts so that you can have that will about the finances. Is that an option?
Thank you very much. I'm going to turn to my left, starting from the first row. Please go ahead, and then I'll move on to the second row. Please go ahead.
My name is Soy Somali from Midterm. The mic. Soy Somali from News 24. Mr. Mbalula would like to know that, knowing that KZN PTT has failed its mandate and that it's expired this November, and they have until February to host branch general meetings, biennial branch general meetings, and the PGC going into next year, which is a municipal elections here. That worry the ANC, that knowing that you only have 17% of support in the province. If you can just respond to that.
Thank you. Citizen.
Good afternoon, it's Dumele from the Citizen. Just to ask, SG, in terms of Johannesburg, the future of the mayor there, has the leadership had time to discuss it? There are some in the party who say that the mayor should go because his continuous presence there creates two centers of power. So have you had time to discuss the future of Dada Morero? And what is your take on him remaining while Luis was chairperson of the region? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I move on to the next row. Going. Yes, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mbalula. It's Carol Patton from News 24. Is it possible, is the ANC, do you think the ANC is going to get over 50% of the vote in the next election? Is it possible? And is it possible to get over 50 without massively redeeming your support in Gauteng and KZN? Thanks.
Thank you very much, Carol. Then go to yourself, my brother.
Yes, Siyabonga Sithole from Independent Media. I just want to find out from the SG if the NGC has reflected on the issue of the economy, especially in terms of what has happened at the ArcelorMittal, a former state entity, which is embroiled in retrenchments and the shutdown of some of its plants. People are unemployed. Has the ANC looked into the issues of how to intervene in that regard?
Thank you, Sebonga. I am looking at the back in case I missed somebody. I'm going to go back to Lizera and then we're closing the questions. Colleague, you are wearing an ANC t-shirt.
No.
Certainly, I doubt you are a journalist in this context. So I will.
No, it's not an ANC. It's a soccer jersey.
Oh, all right. It looked like our colors.
Everything is about the ANC.
You're welcome. You're welcome to don our T-shirt. You are noted. But let me start with Lizera for the follow-up, and then we'll go to yourself, sir, and then go on to ENCA. Lizera?
No, but your response in terms of the expansion of the GNU, you said you have to look at things practically. How I interpret that, because you say you have to look at things practically and the GNU is stable at the moment. How I interpret that is that there is actually not going to be any expansion. You're happy with the GNU as it stands. Can you just be a little bit more clear and candid about that? And just to piggyback on the question about KZN, given what the national spokesperson said, I believe it was to News 24 yesterday, about reinforcements in KZN. You were reinforcing just the other day in KZN with this PTT. Now you have to add more reinforcements. What exactly does it say about in the way that you address the situation in KZN? Surely it must be time now to re-strategize in how you look at regaining lost ground in KZN. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes, my brother.
Good day, this is Lesholo. I'm actually distracted by this T-shirt that I'm wearing, but I'll get to the fact, to the points that
Please name your media house.
Oh, it's Lesholo from Full View. In your midterm review, it laid bare how weakened the ANC is, pointing to the structural problems. And my view is it's good that the parties are aware as to what are the problems and there are plans to fix it. However, the public dissatisfaction remains very high. Are you hopeful that the ANC will overcome that? That's the first point. Then the second point is just a reference to the answers that you provided. You highlighted in your midterm report as well the need to strengthen the consequence management framework to an extent that you went on to say the reliance on innocent until proven guilty has actually damaged the ANC and is opposed to what you have just said about the step aside. So if you could kindly clarify that. And then the last point, I just want to find out, don't you think the ANC is being unfair to the SACP regarding their resolution? Because my view is that that's a decision that was taken in a conference. So can't the ANC respect the decision that was taken by the SACP? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. ENCA?
All right, thanks. The discovery of oil and gas reserves along the Orange Basin will grow South Africa's economy by between 5% and 8%. That's according to Minister Gwede of Mineral Resources. On our side, we know the pushback by environmental lobby groups, but on the side of Namibia, they are going ahead in exploiting those resources. In that context, President Mbeki actually a few weeks back slammed this whole idea of just energy transition, with our President Ramaphosa is supporting. We know that about $10 billion has been given to us in the forms of loans to transition. And President Mbeki is saying it doesn't make sense because we're not going to grow the economy if we are going to completely abandon fossil fuels while we are discovering gas and oils. Other African countries also are discovering gas and oil. Do you think, in the context of the criticism by former President Mbeki and the pursuit on the side of government, and also during the G20, I think there was a pledge of about 15 billion euros that will come in the form of loans for the entire continent to move towards a just energy transition. Is President Mbeki unfair in his criticism, you think? But given the fact that I think he was here, did he raise this criticism with you as the leadership of the ANC? Because clearly you also support the just energy transition.
Thank you very much. That was the last hand. I'll hand over to you, SG.
Thank you very much. Starting with this year, the midterm report gave a diagnosis of the state of branches. We introduced what we call branch functionality and barometer, something that has not been done. And then we support the analysis of the state of branches with data. And the survey we have undertaken and all of that in terms of our own branches. And so it tells a story, but at the same time of the state of branches, but what we are going to do to rebuild branches. So we're building the ANC root and branch. So we're not just plastering over and leaving the space. We're building quality branches that are for the African National Congress. Before we look at society and the ANC's influence in society, we've got to be sure that our own state branches are capable of taking us out of the challenges that we are facing. And so that report also support practical things that need to be done, which are now being discussed as part of the renewal project. In terms of membership, what we need to do, it focus on those particular issues. SABC, Ntebu, it's correct that you have very rich individuals who happen to be ANC members and all of that. It's not a question of how we feel as a party, it's a question of the conscience of those members to contribute the wealth that they've acquired as members of the African National Congress. So our mobilization of resources will not only look at people who are only members, but at the same time expand the strategy to ensure that we raise enough resources for the organization. In this General Council, we are here because members of the ANC contributed individually to be here. From a point of transport and to accommodating themselves, something that has not been happening in the past. As part of the renewal project, we have introduced now that members take care of the business of the organization. So coming to this meeting, we have copied the way of doing things from organizations like in the church. When I go to church and when I go to support Orlando Pirates doesn't pay for me. And Orlando Pirates t-shirt is very expensive, including Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns, and all of that. But we wear them, we buy them because we love the brand. So ANC members, us printing t-shirts for events like this, it's not happening. They buy their own t-shirt, their own bag, and that is it. So it is part of doing things differently and contribute to the gathering like this one in terms of its success. History will tell whether we're presiding over the end of the alliance. But from where we stand at the present moment, we don't have a perspective that says we must walk away and collapse the tripartite alliance. So history will tell whether we did preside over it. And even when it answers that question, it will say what necessitated the collapse, if it will happen. And it will be answered correctly from a strategic point of view. ENCA membership basically state how we organize ourselves and all of that. ANC membership fluctuates, 1,500,000. You will find that now the membership have increased because of conferences. But we're reporting to the organization that the state of membership is in October. This is where we're actually standing as an organization. Now, I've seen people trying to make noise about this, that the organization was at this level at what given point in time and so on. The ANC will be over 1 million members by January, if we give that report in January 8 in all the provinces in terms of the state of membership. Now, we are not reporting lies. We're reporting the qualitative nature of the growth of the organization. That, yes, mass is important, but quality is our main emphasis in terms of this task of rebuilding the African National Congress. We are moving the organization from chaos, anarchy, ill-discipline, and all of that to good, ethical organization, root and branch throughout the country. You will have a few incidences of anarchy, but overall account we can give you is that you will have seen in the regional conferences that we have held, there was no anarchy, there was no violence up until the last one of Johannesburg and Khobusan. You used to come to ANC meetings where people beat each other with chairs. That thing is over. The center is holding. What is that? It's quality. It means we're moving away from anarchy, and at the same time, renewal makes the organization to be different. As much as there was a robust contestation of leadership, all these conferences managed to discuss and also still contest. And even those who lost accepted the outcome. Where have you ever seen such a thing in the ANC? It's only now that you see that. And I've been to those conferences, and we invited you as the media. I'm not talking theory. I'm talking a lived reality of what is happening in the ANC as we speak. And this is what this report is saying. Something to report 1 million members, but with a riddled organization that is facing enormous challenges, that is declining in terms of renewal and all of that. You can see the ANC that is renewing itself. And other people were basically even saying, because of the shock of what we're seeing in this NGC, that no, people are suppressed. Because you are used to something else. You're not used to this organized ANC. You are used by now that we'll be giving an account that others have walked away. That the conference is at standstill debating non-issues. This NGC is about people of South Africa and what interventions we need to make and how we organize ourselves better as an organization. Not about those stories of WhatsApp group that you were told that, yeah, we're going to be debating the departure of the president. We're organizing a departure lounge here for Matamela. There's no such a thing. You have met the real ANC that does things in a way that society should begin to appreciate. People are tired of ANC gatherings. Baragasusuti mukiti wa dikatsi. Amanzi mashe. Cela amanzi. Mukiti wa dikatsi. That is over. And we are seeing that now, yeah. So it's shocking. So that's why people then go and say, no, there is, people are stage managed. This thing is stage managed. That's why we gave you our report, midterm report, public. And for 3 hours, the only person we are competing with in that report is Fidel Castro when it comes to time. And even what we presented in 3 hours was executive summary. That report is 400 pages. Matlengi will give you a proper account of South Africa and the ANC. No fudging of lies that we are running something that is not faced with challenges. Something like never been seen before. So, and we are telling you equally how we are going to get out of this situation. That's what we did. Normally, a report like that will be given in what is called closed session. So we gave you in public full account. Even those who are not in this general council, they know. So if we wanted to tell you lies, we would have told you that we've got 2 million members because we're propagating. We're not propagating here. We're building an organization with determination and an organization that must show resilience at the end of the day. Downsizing, I think, as an option, when it comes to addressing financial matters, no. The ANC is not like any other party. I've seen other political parties. I've seen the DA. Helen Zille's national office is a constituency office of the ANC. It's very small. That's where she runs the DA from, a corner there in Cape Town. ANC is massive. Our bill of salaries only, without added other ingredients, is 20 million per month. Per month. And then you must look at Luthuli House and look at other parties. So to sustain the ANC, it needs a lot of resources. This is what we need to address as an organization. We are the only political party in this country that exists in South Africa. We may not have branches, but we do have interim structures everywhere in the country. KZN is a big disappointment in terms of our intervention. And I can assure you that there's going to be changes in KZN. That structure is too big. And we're going to make it leaner. And we're going to bring new people in KZN. So that you must know for sure is coming. Around February, that well, KZN, we disbanded the structure because we are facing existential crisis there, a tsunami. What do people do which we have given them a task? They are busy fighting over who must lead. They are fighting who must lead, not the task we gave them. We put them aside. We are going to fetch people who are going to build the ANC in KZN, root and branch. Not people who are concerned about who must lead and all of that and just leave and abandon the task. So it's a big disappointment for the ANC, and we're going to deal with it. We deal with it even in the report. We say exactly what I'm saying now, that we've got to get organized. We can't be complaining about other parties, Koto, other parties. They are doing this, they are doing that. What is the ANC doing to organize itself better in KwaZulu-Natal? And that's what is important for us. And they can't do it alone. They are going to do it with us. If it means taking the whole cabinet on the ground, deploying it in KwaZulu-Natal, it's coming. It's going to happen, I can assure you. And we will be better in KZN. Joburg future. Being a chairperson of a region doesn't give you status of a mayor, especially in a city which you have lost. Even the fact that that became the mayor, senzelwe ipavi nje by other parties, but senzelwe favor. You see, that's the problem. People are not looking at organizing the ANC for the better. They are fighting over scrambles of who becomes the mayor. We can make anyone a mayor anytime, but a mayor of what? A coalition government in Johannesburg. We are not in power. The task of the REC that has just been elected should be fighting to get the ANC back, not to get rid of Dada in a coalition government. The first thing people talk about, it's a buzzword, who must be the mayor? That's the most important statement. Loyiso is a very capable comrade. And I know her personally, I know what she's capable of. And the fact that they had a very good conference must be supported. And that energy must now translate to working very hard in Johannesburg to win the confidence of the people, to support the ANC. So the issue of who becomes the mayor in Johannesburg is not a priority. And it's not going to preoccupy us. The preoccupation is going to be the ANC to win and win big in Johannesburg. You have seen other political parties have already fielded candidates for the elections. The ANC coming from a very successful regional conference, the first thing people think about is that the current mayor, who will not be the mayor tomorrow, any other political party can come in, must vacate the space and somebody else must come in. That can be the preoccupation of the movement. And we actually condemn it in strongest possible terms. Carol, the ANC will come back. And the ANC can get 50%. And leave that to what we are going to do for the country and winning back. And we know that we need to win big in Gauteng. We need to win big in KwaZulu-Natal. No doubt about it. We can have an in-depth discussion about the strategy of coming back and winning above 50% in the next election. What we're doing in this General Council and beyond will account for the kind of work we're going to do. That includes structures of the ANC, their conduct, the work we're going to be doing on the ground. We will not get above 50% if our preoccupation is about fighting over scrambles. GNU, you will know that from the period we took a decision to reconfigure GNU, there was a meeting that was convened of all political parties to reset the party by the president and the deputy president. And that has happened successfully. We have not had challenges. We have not had challenges. We managed to pass the midterm budget. And now you must tell me that that does not showcase the stability of the GNU. I have said that we look at the practicalities. I know where you want to go, expansion and all of that. There's no need to tamper with something that does not need tampering. We are operating very well. We are now going to tighten screws around the issue of the statement of intent and working with all political parties to deliver. KZN reinforcement, there is no reinforcement there. We are going for the total overhaul of the organization in KwaZulu-Natal. And we need to get the best of the best to run the organization in KwaZulu-Natal. Because the mandate of the PTT has expired. And I've written to them and I've told them that we are going to come back to them by February, because we don't need to waste time in KwaZulu-Natal. You can't reinforce something that does not need the reinforcement. It does not need the reinforcement. There's a big challenge there that we need people who are going to run and oversee the organization in KwaZulu-Natal visibly, that running the organization and taking the battle to the opponents. At the present moment, that is not there. Full view, public dissatisfaction is high. That's what you say. This is static. It changes all the time. It depends on a number of factors of how the party and the government operates. The mood of the public now will be shaped around issues that are key for the people and how government led by the ANC intervenes on those issues. And you can single one of them, for instance, the issue of crime and the allegations that were made, the Madlanga Commission. We're very happy about the posture and the decision we have taken, because that showcased a government led by the president that cares and doesn't take things for granted. Me and you wouldn't have known that we've got people who are policemen, who are accounting for corrupt activities like what it has been reported at Madlanga Commission. Stealing cables. I mean, what is that? The whole corp implicated in such things. And this is what this commission is helping us with, to strengthen the institutions and get rid of the rotten apples. And as we walk that path and the things are being unraveled, look at the beautiful decisions that Dr. Kagaza is taking. Not wait for end of the commission. Suspend these people, put them on terms. That's what the nation wants. Doesn't want to be entertaining people who are implicated in corruption. It wants a government that acts and acts decisively. We don't have to wait for the commission to finish. We now know here in Ekurhuleni what happened when Zwandile was taken out. He was taken out of council by thugs who were employed with state resources. And that's where most of the problems happened. Not under Zwandile Masina's administration. When the ANC was removed, through the popular vote, it's a democratic expression. Ekurhuleni became a holiday zone of criminality. Those things are coming out of the commission. Dr. Kagaza is acting. Not tomorrow, now, as we speak, suspending people. And we support it with regard to that. Lackluster approach when we are confronted with difficulties, it's over. And that's what will change the dissatisfaction. Because people's hopes are drowning when they see wrongful doing and government does nothing. And yet you've got the power. The president, confronted by Mkwanazi's issues, didn't sit on those things. People said, it's another waste of money, commission. And the results are going to be different, totally different. Madanga Commission, you can see there are no jokes there. Talking the whole day non-stop like that parliamentary committee. That Madanga, they deal with you properly. Uzange show ripa, uzayibeka. Bana batswa mo banza ba re tate xoli kuzowa abantu lapha. Bajuluka emini lapha. Kuphela ukuclever. You think that thing is a show, you are going to talk the whole day about everything under the sun. No, they deal with terms of reference, proper, there at Mazang Commission. It's not a talk show, that thing. Those men and women are determined. They are proper. They sit on you properly. And they interrogate you based on facts. I will be happy to appear in front of such a commission. No, not me. No, not me. No, not me. No. I'm not implicated in anything. So we are very happy about, and I'm sure society also, when you watch that commission, you see that this is driven with results, and they don't take chances, and so on. Obviously, there are things that must happen, which we must do with speed. Let's protect whistleblowers. Whistleblowers in Parliament. We agree with the DA and everybody that this must be passed in Parliament. We protect the whistleblowers. Whistleblowers are vulnerable and they get killed. Babita got killed here in Tembisi. And we see that people are getting arrested out of that saga. So that is good work. So that public perception will change when we do things. Like we say as the ANC, that we must not wait for this commission to end. We must intervene right away. SICP resolution is not been unfair. It's like the ANC coming to a general council and take a decision like, let's disband. Not agree to that as the ANC. So it's not been unfair. It's about analyzing the implications of this decision. At the end of the day, there's nothing we can do. If they contest, they are contesting now, even in by-elections. There's nothing we can do. The Communist Party is going to contest elections. The question we must do is, what are the implications of that for the alliance and for the broader project of the National Democratic Revolution? That is the question, the practicality of that we must answer. ENCA, the last question is just transition. It must happen on our own terms. President Mbeki is correct. If we run ahead with this just transition, and at the end of the day, the economy is going to collapse. And these are the things that we have said as the ANC, and this will be debated here in this General Council. Zuko, Kodlimpi, and them, they will come here. Reserve that question. Because what President Mbeki was raising is correct. And this is what we as the ANC have have said even before that just transition, yes, but it must happen on our own terms, at our own speed. That's when Gwedemantashe was called a fossil dinosaur. You remember? Yeah. And then, we don't want dinosaurs. We want to understand that certain things, if we move ahead, for instance, if you take Germany, they take our coal here, and then they are a developed nation. And then South Africa moves so fast, even ahead of Germany, in terms of just transition. And then we're going to suffer the consequences. Yes, it must happen, but on our own terms. That's what we said. And I don't think it will change here, but you'll get the report from Zugo and them about the discussions and the resolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, colleagues. I take it, I'd like to thank you for showing up and for your engagement. We are adjourned. We continue to take interview requests as we've been doing, and then we will move on. Thank you very much.